This episode is brought to you by the Therapy Album by Rob D. Now available on Bandcamp. Download it now. Just name your price and it's all yours to enjoy. Welcome everybody to the Puras Pendejadas podcast. I am your host Rob D. And I just spent about 2 minutes recording and I didn't even press record. Hey man, you learn. You know what I mean? You learn. I'm doing this shit on my own. Fuck it. All right. So basically, what I was saying was, I was giving you guys like the story on how my knee, how I got my knee better and everything, right? I didn't press record. So basically, it got to a point where, and I'm not about to go into the whole, how it started and everything. But basically, I got hurt at work, and I thought it would be like a smooth ride to get better or whatever, but it wasn't. And basically, what I learned from everything was you have to take care of yourself because nobody else is gonna do it for you. And what I mean by that is like not just take care of yourself, like on a day-to-day basis, but look out for yourself too, because these motherfuckers don't care, man. This is a job. This is a business for them. You know what I mean? They don't, healthcare is a business. That's what I've learned. And they don't really care. You know what I mean? So you have to look out for yourself. I got a lot of weird stares. I got a lot of, doubtful stares. Like, man, what the hell? And it just showed me who, people's true colors, basically. And so with that being said, I was really disappointed. And basically the first go around, I was fine. I had pain. But they did this thing where, they diagnosed me with a torn meniscus, right? So then they put me under so we could do the whole procedure or whatever. But then when he went in, he's like, dude, I didn't find anything torn. But what I found interesting about that was that what I call a procedure because they still put me under. That's when I started limping, and that's when everything just went to shit. And I couldn't really help it, man. It hurt to put any type of weight, and the whole time for like that year and a half or year and like 9 months, something like that. I was putting a lot of pressure on my right knee. The injured one was my left. And I could just feel it. I could feel everything going uneven. Started gaining weight. It just I wouldn't sleep well. I would get lucky. I would be lucky if I get like 4 hours of sleep every day. And then other shit came into play too, which I'll probably talk about that years from now, only because I don't feel comfortable talking about that yet. So but basically just to stick to the topic, right? I went through that procedure, and I did think it was kind of weird. So after the procedure, they're like, all right, get some physical therapy. And workers' comp sucks, man. Workers' comp sucks, and you have to know your way around that world, and they're not there for you. They're not there to take care of you, okay? And I didn't know that. So I put all my trust in everybody, in this business, that is the medical field, and I shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? And so I waited. It would take a long time for anything to get approved. MRIs, physical therapy, doctor visits, and then they would get denied too sometimes. So we would have to wait, and then, you know what I mean? Then get declined, and then enter the request again. They ate up a lot of time, and that's another thing that made me insecure is like when I would talk to anybody, both personally or when I would go see a doctor, they would tell me like, well, when did this happen and how long have you? And they look at me like, pinche rollero. But in my head, I'm like, this isn't my fucking fault. And I know usually that's how everybody is, you know what I mean? It's not my fault. But under my circumstances, it wasn't my fault, all right? And I'm sticking to it. But yeah, man, it was really frustrating. I would get approached and just be like, so what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm waiting. They told me to wait, so I have to wait. So I went through that procedure. By the time I got the fucking physical therapy approved, one doctor would tell me one thing, and then another doctor would tell me another thing, and use crutches, don't use them. Well, use them if you feel like it. No, don't use them, you fucking pussy. You know what I mean? It's just like, what the fuck, man? This is your guys' job. I'm gonna listen to whatever you guys tell me to do. So I get the physical therapy approved. I go through that. I could just feel it. I'm not getting better. Something's wrong. And of course, they're staring at me weird and stuff. They did the whole work conditioning after all the approved sessions, which was only half of what they normally give, which is what they were telling me. And, I was like, this isn't right. So then I went to go get a second opinion. Mind you, this is after a long time, dude. Long time. Finally got the second opinion approved, go through that. Then by the time, they order another MRI, and this time with contrast, and then that gets denied, back and forth, whatever. But throughout the whole time, they assigned me one doctor, right? That was my main doctor. And from the beginning, he had mentioned oh, would you be interested in doing any PRPs? And I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is, dude. I'm like, no, let's do this right. Just find what the fuck's wrong with me, fix me, and that's it. So, blah, 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 fast forward, a lot of back and forth. Finally, the second opinion doctor basically said, here's what's wrong with you. We have a procedure. It's actually, we'd have to put you under twice. And then after that, we'd have to see what was, we have to strengthen you. So then it's physical therapy or whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. We'll request it. They requested it. They denied it. Let me see. Yeah. And then after that, they're like, by the way, your time's up. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? And they're like, sorry, whatever. So then I was left on my own, right? They cut me loose from the workers' comp, right? So then I'm like, fuck that, man. I want to get better. At this point, I'm still limping around, right? And it's not going well mentally. I'm not in a good place. It was very frustrating. But then basically, I spoke to my wife. I was speaking to my wife, and I was like, I don't want this to be my life. You know what I mean? That, short sleep shit wasn't fun. My temper was short. I was going through some other shit too, that I'll talk about later, way later. So it's just not good, And so then I was like, all right, so then fuck it. Let me get to the bottom of this. So I have my last doctor's appointment with the doctor, and then they're like, well, you're not with workers' comp anymore. Now to see the doctor, we need a referral, right? From your doctor, from your primary doctor, from your personal primary. So then I had to go with them, get their referral, wait, finally get it approved. Then I see him. Then I'm like, all right, what do we do? And he's like, well, what'd they tell you? We're basically we're at zero. And then I was like, what about that PRP shit you were talking about? And he's like, yeah, if you want to. And I was like, explain more. So the way that works, right? PRPs. The way that works is what he explained to me is they draw blood, right? And it's like, when you donate plasma, if any of you guys aren't familiar with that procedure, right? It's like you're donating blood, right? But you donate plasma, they draw the blood, then they spin the blood or whatever, and then it separates the blood from the plasma. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not about to explain what plasma is. Go Google that shit. But then what they said the plasma does is that helps our body. What the fuck is the word? Asanar, hombre. It helps the body heal. You know what I mean? But they said that with cartilage and certain areas of the body, you don't get as much blood flow. So the plasma doesn't. The body doesn't let it do its thing. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he said, so what we're going to do is, and PRPs are in the plasma, something like that. So he said, what we're going to do, we're going to draw the blood, get the plasma, whatever. Then they're going to inject the plasma into the problem area, right? Which is my knee, different areas. So I was like, fuck it. I fucking hate needles. But at this point, I was like, I just want to be able to say I tried my best, you know? So we try it. I had to pay for it because the insurance, health insurances don't cover PRPs or stem cells. It's like in the family of stem cells too. And they said they don't cover them because they're considered experimental. So I was like, fuck it. You know what I mean? So we paid for it. And yeah, they did it like I don't know, like 5 or 6 different places around the knee and stuff. Felt fucking weird. And then yeah, so you know what I mean? Went home. He numbed it. That's right. He numbed it first. So he numbed it up. He numbed it because of course he didn't get all the spots. So in some spots it felt I could feel it more than others. But the whole time I was just like, whatever it takes, you know, to get better. And went home, felt weird as shit. Felt like I had it just numb, you know what I mean? Felt like I had like a big bubble in my knee. Then, yeah, that whole day recovering. I forgot what they told me to do. I was like elevated or some shit like that. I don't remember. So the next morning, woke up and I got some decent sleep. And as soon as I got off the bed, I was like, you know, it felt weird. I remember laying in bed the first morning and I moved it around. I was like, it still feels kind of numb, but I feel like I have a little bit more movement. So I was laying in bed, kind of moving it around. I was like, oh shit, man, this feels weird. No pain, but like numb. So I didn't know if it was like the numbness medicine or whatever. But then I got off the bed. I put my feet down, and I didn't feel the shooting pain anymore. And I was like, whoa. Walked around or whatever. And yeah, there was no pain. And what I did feel and what I was dealing with for a few weeks was my body was so used to limp that I found myself limping just out of being so used to it. So I was like, wait a minute, well, but am I limping because I'm used to it or does it hurt? So I was like, oh shit, there's no more pain. I was like, no fucking way, man. And deep down inside, I didn't want to be disappointed. So I was kind of like, let's see if this shit wears off. Or even though the doctor told me like, this isn't like, so basically what it does is it's going to heal what you have wrong. You know what I mean? Because I had a cartilage basically was like worn down or whatever from work and shit, because it would constantly be on my knees, constantly, till it, fucked it up. So he's like, basically it's going to help repair that cartilage. And yeah, for a few weeks afterwards, even now, I still feel it. It feels weird. It feels like numb. You know what I mean? And I guess it's like, it kind of feels like a scar, I guess. It feels weird sometimes, but no pain. And yeah, man. So it was just getting used to it, getting used to like not limping, getting used to sleeping. It was weird. I had to get like back to normal, and it took a while. And then after that, I was like, all right, so then what do we do now? Oh, and then when he gave me the shots, he was like, let's just give you they're really cool, man. They're really cool there. Shout out to Dr. Rafian and all his staff. They're like, you know what? Like, let's not have you wait like you did before. Because they were with me the whole time, like throughout this whole journey. And so they're like, let's not wait. Let me just request the physical therapy now. But it's going to go through your insurance. I'm like, all right, cool. So then give me the shots or whatever. And then that was another thing too, man, with my insurance. It was such a shit show, man. Yeah, the medical field is a fucking shit show. And I don't know if it's because of the insurance that I have, but I highly doubt it because I've dealt with shit show with the workers' comp, and then I dealt with the shit show with my insurance, and then it's just like every single part of it, like it was not smooth at all. But the number one thing that I learned is like you have to look out for yourself because nobody else is gonna do it. You know what I mean? You have to make sure you make that phone call, even if they tell you that they're gonna make the phone call, because guess what? They're not gonna make that phone call. They're not gonna call you back. There's going to be some discrepancies, you know what I mean? Or that person is going to end up quitting their job, and then you're just going to be left up in the air, and you're not going to know this, and they're not going to tell you, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you have to be on top of it and don't wait. You know what I mean? So yeah, again, long, had to wait a while, and then finally got approved for the physical therapy, and right away, like my second, third visit, I could feel it. And I'm like, whoa, because I was like uneven. You know what I mean? My left knee was super weak. And, you know, being there for a while, 2-3 visits in, I was like, holy shit. And it's just like, you know, things that they would help me do, like resistance and stuff like that. It would feel good. It feel like, oh, like finally you get to stretch, you know, like when you're sitting down for a long time and then you get up and you're just like, oh, you weigh. That's how my knee felt. It's just like, yes, like, fuck yeah. And I could just feel everything like expanding and finally, you know what I mean? And then same thing. I went to the same place I went the first time around, getting those weird looks at the physical therapy place. But this time I was just asking questions the whole time. You know what I mean? What does this do? What does that do? Shout out to Accurate too. He's knowledgeable in this field too. So he would tell me like, make sure you don't just do this, also do that. So I would do workouts, you know, here in the garage and stuff too, you know. And I would ask him like, what should I do? Blah, blah, blah. And they would tell me at the physical therapy place. And I, you know, I got along with this one guy. I think he was like the head guy. But I think it's because he saw that I wanted to get better, you know. So he, you know, he started, you know, telling me what to do and stuff. And he was really helpful. Like I would push it, and then sometimes like nah, like, so I think he knew that I was being honest, you know, when I told him I couldn't, or that was as far as I could go on something. He would be like, all right, cool, you know, and he would drop it. And compared to like before, when he would just like stare at me like, the fuck, you know, it doesn't make sense. So yeah, so by the time I finished physical therapy, it was like I felt the strength, you know what I mean? But I was still a little off, so I understood that like I had to keep on going. So I asked him, you know what I mean? I took some notes on like, what should I do out of all these exercises you have me doing? Which ones should I stick with? He's like, well, stick with these. I think he gave me like 3. He's like, just stick with these 3. You know, all the other ones, but these 3 very fundamental. Like, all right, cool. So then, and I was like, when can I start running? And he looked at me like, what the fuck? And I was like, no, like I want to get back to where my life was. You know what I mean? Is this shit recording? Yeah, it is. So yeah, he was like, well, what you can do is, so they had me like on a treadmill, and they would have it inclined, and I would just walk. I never ran over there. And I could feel everything activating. It was weird. It felt weird. Good weird. Finally, you know? And he was like, just keep on, you know, doing the treadmill at home. Like, all right, cool. Make sure it's inclined. And then he's like, and then just little by little, just speed it up. Do a very light jog. Very, very light jog. And then feel it out. I think he said, like, try that for like 3 to 5 days. If it feels good, then do it a little bit faster. And then wait 3 to 5 days. And then if it still feels good, then do it a little bit faster. If at any point you start feeling pain, then go back and, you know, do that for 3 to 5 days. And then you can move forward. And I'm like, all right, cool. I don't know how to swim, but they're like, if you can swim, that's awesome. Rehab for the knee too. And I was like, no puedo nadar, güey. So he's like, I was like, what about the bike? And he's like, yeah, just be careful. And I was like, all right, cool. So then, yeah, I ended up physical therapy on a good note. And once I ended physical therapy, that's when like life kind of changed for the good too. It was weird. I was in a situation, and basically, you know, the shit that I've been telling you guys, I'm not going to talk about till like, you know, years later. But everything changed. It was weird. It's weird how the universe works, man. Because I was like, what the fuck? Like that went, this is going good. This is going good. This is going good. And it just like, you know, across everything. So I was really happy with that. And so then I started working out at home, right? Of course, Balboa was going crazy because we wouldn't go on our walks or runs anymore. So as soon as I got home, started feeling a little bit better. Moving on up from the treadmill, right? Walking. I was like, let me try the bike. And then once I got on the bike, I would take Balboa for, his, bike ride or whatever. And he loved it, man. He's finally burning off all that extra energy that he was like pent up for like 2 years and shit. And yeah, so things started getting better from there. Then I ended up wearing out the treadmill at home. I bought that treadmill. I don't know if I had mentioned it on another episode, but I bought a treadmill for Balboa because of my knee injury, So the plan was to get him on the treadmill, have him run and stuff, since I couldn't take him out for a run anymore, and didn't work out. Fucking, I tried, but he was just like, nah, dude. Like, so it'd get weird when I'd get on the treadmill and stuff. But I was like, no, you fucked up. Like, it's not going to happen. So, started getting on the treadmill, started getting to a point where I could start running. And then, everything just started fitting into place. I would push it sometimes, and then sometimes I'd be like, fuck. I always have that fear of like, is it going to go back? Is it going to go back? But I think it's just my knee telling me like, no. Yeah, I have to listen to it. And I feel like I can't go to a doctor just to ask him about that, because either there's going to be a copay, and even if there's a copay, this motherfucker isn't going to tell me the truth. You know what I mean? They don't know, because my injury is not a common injury. So they can't tell me exactly what to do. So I've just been feeling it out. That's it. That's all I've been doing. Just feeling it out. So luckily now I've been running. And even then, man, you're always going to have some type of obstacle, because I'm running on the treadmill. I think at this point I've been running for about a month. And 3 weeks into running on the treadmill at home, fucking shit gives out. The fucking thing gives out, man. And I was just like, fuck, man. And it was very frustrating, because it's like, man, I'm finally getting back into the groove of things. It's feeling good. Finally, I can start losing this weight. I can make significant moves towards losing, some of this weight. And the fucking shit gives out, man. And I was like, fuck. Very frustrating. And I tend to overthink a lot. You know what I mean? So when that shit happened, I just like started going into fucking rabbit holes from repairing, you know what I mean? And just like started going deep into that shit. And I'm like, I don't want to lose the progress that I've had. And then something came up at work where like, they offer they have like a gym at work. And I was like, oh shit. And yeah, so I've been using the gym at work. They have a treadmill, and I was like, wow. So just been going from there. And another thing too. So I bought this treadmill, right? The old one. And when I bought it, it was already used. They just had it in their garage or whatever. And I was like, it's for a Balboa. Who fucking cares? But when I started using it, I don't know how much I was running, because the display would say one thing, but then I would track it on my watch too, and it would say a different distance. So I'm like, what am I running? I don't know. Is it kilometers? But then I would translate it on my phone, and it was like, no, that's not it. So on the treadmill, it would say like 2.5. No, 2. I would do 2. By the time it died, I would do 2.5. I was assuming it meant miles. But then on my watch, it would say I was running, I think 3. And I was like, 3 miles? I was like, so what the fuck am I running? Was it 3? Yeah, because it was 2. or almost 3. Yeah, almost 3. Like 2.8, 2.9, some shit like that. So I was like, I don't know how much I'm fucking running, but fuck it. I'm just running up until I get my I have like a goal on my watch, like how many calories to burn a day, and then the steps, right? So once I reach that, then I'm like, okay, I'm good, and I built up to that, right? So then on the treadmill at work, I'm like, well, do I go by what I've been running, or do I go by this shit? Because now I want to know exactly how much I'm running. So I'm messing with the treadmill, and then it's like, first time I just do like manual, I'll just go at my own pace or whatever, and it stops at 2, like 2 miles is like, yeah, that's it. And I'm like, I don't know if that's how much. So I was talking to somebody at work, and they're like, hey man, did you used to run? Did you used to like in high school? I'm like, no. And I started telling them, like, I used to run before I got hurt or whatever. Just trying to get back into some type of shape. And they're like, well, how much do you run? I was like, I don't know, I think it says either 2.5 or 3 miles. And they're like, oh shit. And they're like, they have the 5K runs sponsored by the city. I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, blah blah blah. They start getting into it. I was like, oh shit. I was like, how much is 5K? I don't even know if I could do that. And they're like, it's about 3 miles. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And I started thinking about it. I was like, I don't think I ever ran that much, even when I was good, like before. I don't think so. I think the top would be like 2 miles. And I was like, holy shit, man. So, the treadmill has a button for like 5K distance. So I tried it out. And yeah, it's like 3.1 miles. And I could do it. And I was like, holy shit, man. This is pretty cool. But then I did that for 3 days. And I think more than anything, I'm just, sore. But my left knee, I could really feel, it doesn't hurt, but it's just like tired and sore and stuff. And I think it's pushing it too much. I think I should stick to like the 2.5 at least for a while, and then build up to the 3. Because, again, I'm just going by feel. Like, what am I feeling? How does it feel? And I don't want to push it and fuck it up either. What do I have to prove? You know what I mean? I'm not going to... Who knows if I'm even going to get to do those 5K runs anyway. But I think more important is just to make sure I strengthen it back to how it was. And I don't want to push it and fuck it up just to say to myself that I could do, 5Ks, every time I get on the fucking treadmill. Who gives a fuck? I just want to get better. So that's what's been on my mind yesterday and today. I'm still going to be on the treadmill, but maybe I should slow it down a little bit. And yeah, man, it's just about, knowing your body and feeling it out and go back to normal. And I'm glad, I'm really happy finally that I can, be active again and burning all this, frustration off and stuff like that. Balboa's having the ball. Yeah, man, it's been good. It's been really good. Finally. It's still a process, but little by little getting a little, better. Here and there I get, little like, hey, you know what I mean? But it's been good. So yeah, that's the process on my knee. It's been really interesting. And if you guys have more questions on PRPs and stuff like that, I suggest you ask your doctor about it. I guess I'm an advocate because it fucking works, man. After everything that I've been through, this shit was the one thing that fucking worked. And the doctor was telling me too that they're pushing to make this, more, they could see that it is legit. And also bring in stem cells too. And they're like, that's just even more better. So I'm like, fuck, man, if the PRPs help, I could just imagine, how well the stem cells would work too. But definitely, I definitely, if you ever have an injury like that, if you have any questions, I mean, I could answer whatever I can answer, whatever, I've been through, but definitely any type of injury like that, definitely ask your doctor and mention the PRPs, man, because it is worth, you know what I mean? If you can buy yourself a fucking iPhone, you can afford this shit, you know what I mean? If you can be buying yourself the things you're buying yourself that you want but don't really need, and you need to, get better, these things are a really good investment on yourself, man, because they work. You know what I mean? But again, I can only speak for myself. It's the best money I've ever spent. I can tell you that. But yeah, it's fucking awesome. In other news for me, I think one of the things too that we constantly deal with, as artists and stuff like that is staying motivated, staying focused, and it's just hard, you know what I mean? Because like us, you know what I mean? It's just me. I'm the one setting up the camera. I'm the one setting up the editing. I'm the one uploading. I'm the one, marketing and promoting and letting you guys know that it's back up and letting you guys know, you know what I mean? All this stuff. And, I have a life, so I have to squeeze this shit in whenever I can. Not that I don't want this to seem like, well, that's why I only have these many episodes, or well, that's why I haven't been uploading since the last time. I'll do it when I can do it. You know what I mean? I want this to remain to be fun. And one of the reasons why I do this is because so you guys can get to know me. You know what I mean? It's more, I think, more intimate, than just putting out music and like, who the fuck is this? You actually get to know who it is that's putting, that I'm a husband, that I'm a dad. Excuse me, that I have a regular life, you know what I mean? But we're pursuing a dream, and if you can relate to that, cool, you know what I mean? But a lot of the times, not just sometimes, a lot of the times, man, it's really frustrating. It's hard to find motivation and stuff like that. But a lot of self-doubt. But I think the one thing, the constant thing is knowing that it's already in you. You know what I mean? Once you get that confidence, then you just untuck it whenever the time is to do whatever it is that you say you love to do. And that's how accurate this all the time. There's no doubt anymore. You know what I mean? And I think that just comes with maturing. You know what I mean? Because there was a certain point where it's like, oh my God, what if this runs out? What if, what if this and what if that? And, my tank might just be 3/4 full now. And it's like, no, it's going to be in you no matter how long. It's up to you. It's always going to be in there. You just got to know when to hone it. And, me and Accurate have been linking up. We've always been, communicating or whatever. But, me feeling better and stuff like that, I was like, all right, let's do this shit. I've been dealing with life. He's been dealing with life. But we've been locking in here and there. And it's like, yep. So I'm excited. And it's just work, you know what I mean? We've always been working. But now it's just like, now it's like I'm allowing myself to all right, go ahead, go. And it's just awesome. It's cool. It feels good. It's just me and him. Then, of course, I show my wife. I show the kids. I show my big brother. And it's exciting. You know what I mean? And I think that's the key to stay motivated and stay focused is it's all up to you. You know what I mean? When you allow yourself to keep on going or to create or to do whatever it is you want to do, it's going to feel good. And once it feels good, as long as it feels good, as long as it's fun, don't feel like you have to do anything you don't want to do. That's all the motivation you need. You know what I mean? And I've been watching a lot of YouTube. I've always been watching YouTube videos. I've just been trying to learn, how to do this, how to do that. So I'm excited, man. Get a team. I think having a team is one of the best things. And it doesn't have to be a big, big team. You know what I mean? 2 people. You and someone else. You know what I mean? I do think you at least need one other person, though, because it's like working out by yourself. You know what I mean? You have to be super disciplined to push yourself when you're working out by yourself. You know what I mean? But once you start working out with somebody else, you guys are just pushing each other. And it's just you know what I mean? You get more shit done. And same thing goes with this shit. The work ethics, the meeting of the minds, the two minds are better than one, all that shit right there. That's what you need, man. That's what you need to just get the ideas bubbling and then going, and then like, oh damn, that was cool. Oh shit, okay, now he did this. Okay, now it's my turn to do this, and blah blah blah, and go back and forth on whatever it is you do. And I'm more talking to the people that want to do something with their lives. You know what I mean? The people that think that it's too late already because you're 20. It's too late already because you're 30. It's too late already because you're 40. It's too late already because you're 50. I can't change nobody's mind. You know what I mean? I can't tell nobody what to feel, what to think. But I'm talking more to those people that, you know what I mean, have been working towards a certain goal. And, it's hard sometimes to get the wheels going again. You know what I mean? Get yourself a team. YouTube, man. This right here that I'm doing right now is all a product of YouTube. This could not be possible without me being obsessed with how to get shit done and just going to the school of YouTube. You know what I mean? And just knowing that you can do anything by yourself. You know what I mean? You can do it. You can do it. Build it, and then the help will come later. There's someone that's going to believe in you, and they're going to offer some resources, and then you're just going to go from there. Or just some tips, you know what I mean? Like, Robert, why don't you just look more fucking relaxed and lean back? You know what I mean? Or next time put a fucking this type of light, or you know what I mean? And you kind of learn how to decipher, like, are they, first of all, did I ask for your opinion? If not, then whatever. But if I did, you take that constructive criticism and then apply it towards whatever it is, you know what I mean? Because if you think you could do it better, then go ahead, man. Like, YouTube accounts are free, Spotify accounts are free. Like, you fucking do it, you know what I mean? Other than that, if we don't ask for your feedback, just sit down, watch, or fucking change the channel, you know what I mean? Whatever. But yeah, man, just stay motivated. Don't worry about it. It's never gonna be perfect. Just keep on doing it. And I kind of want to lead by example more than anything. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, I'm living my life right now. I don't know if you guys could hear. There's a dryer running right now, but that's part of my life. You know what I mean? If you can hear, my family is in. I don't know if you can hear them right now, but they're watching TV right now. My wife's in the kitchen, stuff like that, and it's just like, I'm not gonna be like, everybody, I need complete silence, because it's like, that's not my life. This is my life. So, you know what I mean? Everything can't be perfect. You know what I mean? You just have to live with that. So, just be willing to, I think the imperfections are what makes us us. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we see these YouTubers and we see these podcasts and stuff like that, and everything looks so perfect and stuff, and it's like, that's not real. What's real? You know what I mean? Or the way they're formatted and stuff like that, it's like, people are going to catch on. You know what I mean? So don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Just keep on doing whatever it is you want to do. You know what I mean? And learn. There's always a fucking learning opportunity. Don't worry about it, man. Just have some fucking fun. You know what I mean? What else do we got? Oh, yeah. So, I was telling you guys, been looking into, I'm always looking into how to, I don't want to just say one thing, like how to market and promote yourself, but just how to maneuver in this space that we're trying to create. You know what I mean? Being an artist and stuff like that, promoting your music, promoting yourself, promoting your podcast, what do you do? There's no school for this to tell you exactly what it is you got to do. You have to take it upon yourself on your time to do the research, and just throw in as many fishing lines and then see what bites, and then just go from there. You know what I mean? So one of the things I was looking into is Bandcamp, right? Because this whole streaming shit, I've never really been a big. I see streaming more like promoting yourself. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I never saw it as in, this is how we're gonna make the money. from the music. I understand that we have to get to a certain point where, performances, shows, that's how we're going to make money from the music. But as far as streaming goes, there's no money in it. You know what I mean? I've had my distro account for what is it now? 3? No. Yeah, like 3 years. And dude, there's probably like $13 in there. It's nothing. There's fucking nothing. So I've been trying to see how this world is going to progress, or when they're gonna, or if they'll ever start kicking in money. It's not gonna happen, not with streaming, at least not as I see it. But one of the things that really got my wheels going was this interview with Snoop. He was talking about how he had like 1 billion streams, and they looked into it, and he only had like, fuck man, I don't remember. I don't know, like tens, somewhere like in the tens of thousands, like 10,000 or 60,000 dollars. That's how much he made off a 1 billion streams. That's just like there's no money there. And I've seen another interview with him where he's like asking, like, someone explain this shit to me. How does this shit work? You know what I mean? And it's a really good question, but at the same time, I think this whole time, I've been waiting for someone to discover and then finally be like, aha. And then like, come over here. This will open the floodgates. But it's not going to work like that. You know what I mean? So what I've learned is that what I started looking into was like, how would you make money? You know what I mean? And one of the things that I discovered, it's been around for a while, is Even. And Even is kind of like it's like this what is it called? This format, this it's a website, right? Basically, you upload all your music on there, and then people pay whatever they want to pay for your shit. You know what I mean? The only thing about that place is that I feel like as of right now, it's not easily accessible, and that's what I struggle with as an artist. Like, I want to get you the shit because I know you're lazy. You're probably watching this and you've never heard my music before. And I know that the average consumer just wants it in their hand right away. So with that, it's like, Even, I think where they're lacking is that they don't have an app. So you can go to their website, make a profile, search up the artist, buy their shit, you download it, and that's it. And you basically have their music already. You know what I mean? Now, the way I see it is once they get that app going, then now we can move in that direction. So then I started seeing how Even worked, right? I think it's called like even.biz or something like that. And La Russell's on there. He's been doing a lot of big independent moves. I saw Big Crit pop up on there. Omarion, Dej Loaf just recently got on there. So there's, some known artists and a lot of independent artists on there as well. And the thing is, like, you got to know your place. You know what I mean? These people have following. So no matter how small the platform is, what might not be right for me might be right for them. You know what I mean? And rightfully so. So they already have a following. If you have hardcore fans, hell yeah, they're gonna want to support you. You know what I mean? And so I see them flourishing off of that shit. For me, I don't think. I could barely have people comment on my shit, let alone go to a website, pay, download my shit. You know what I mean? So don't worry. I know we'll get there when we get there. But in the meantime, I was like, what else is there like Even? And that's when I found Bandcamp. And I have known about Bandcamp for a long time already. But it never made sense to me. As far as my situation, right? Being on there. But now that I see it, I'm like, this is it. This is just like Even. They have an app. They have a website. Same shit. I could put it on there. The artist can put their shit on there. Name their price. You know what I mean? Or have the listener name their price, or put it up there for free. You know what I mean? And I just think just having those options is way better than just to like go to Spotify, go to Tidal, go to Pandora, go to whatever the fuck you listen to, Amazon Music or whatever, and stream it. At this point, I understand, or I'm understanding more now who I am as an artist, and I'm confident that, if you were to hear our shit, you like it, and it is worth something. I don't think I'm at a point where I could tell you how much, but I know if I put it up there and I can let you name the price, even if you pay $1, right? It's gonna be way more than I'm making off of the streaming. You know what I mean? And again, you just gotta build brick by brick. You know what I mean? Little by little, step by step. And so that's what I ended up doing. So I'll put the link in the description. I put the therapy album on there on Bandcamp, and yeah, man, we'll just see how it goes from there. You know what I mean? Me and Accurate have been talking about putting the energy album on there, but I have to see how that shit works. You know what I mean? Because I want to make sure I split it up. I've been thinking about putting the therapy sessions mixtape on there as well. And then I'm thinking that from then on, I might just be putting everything on there as well as putting it on streaming. But I want to be able to at least have the option of, like, you know what, like, build that community. You know what I mean? To see where the real fans are at and stuff like that, and just build. You know what I mean? Because like I said, there's no blueprint to this shit. You got to work it out yourself, and everybody's scared. What if it doesn't work? What if the only way you're gonna find out is if you do it yourself? So, yeah, the therapy album is on Bandcamp. I'll leave the link down in the description, and I think that's pretty much it, man. I just wanted to touch base with you guys. Wanted to talk about my knee because I know, I've been teasing it here and there. And honestly, I was going through it too. Like, I didn't think it was the time or place because I still had a lot of questions. But yeah, I feel comfortable talking about it. And stay tuned from like years from now so you guys can get the real, like, everything. It was a fucking doozy, man. Let me tell you, man. These, some people are fucking pieces of shit motherfuckers, man. Like, I don't understand how people wake up in the mornings and like, I'm see how many fucking people I could be fucked up to. And they're out there, man. They're fucking out there. And I wish I could talk about it, but I can't. I'm trying to see how I can sugarcoat it for you guys, but it's just be a good shit, man. It doesn't cost you anything. I don't understand how people can wake up and just want to be fucked up individuals. I don't get it. I don't get it. But neither do I. Don't want to understand it either. I just want to move on, and I'm just glad I'm in a better space, and things are looking up. And with that being said, this is the Puras Pendejadas podcast. I am Rob D, and I'll be dropping this shit whenever the fuck I want to. All right, later.